Caught us.
Yeah.
We're still feeling it. Still feeling a little that magic from last week, y'all.
Working on our script.
Do you see how intense that was? Like serious language. So we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Victor Dandridge.
Yo soy Ryan.
I wasn't even prepared for you to go all multilingual on me. And you do it so much. I should be ready. I wasn't ready.
Those 2 years of high school really paid off.
That's it. That's all he's got. Je m'appelle Victor. What? Oh, Frenchness. All right, so we are back for, I don't even know what week we're in. Is this 29? 29?
29.
29
Our producers
weeks.
say 29, yeah.
I like it. 29 weeks of black, white, and red all over, y'all.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That is a whole bunch. A whole lot of here. We got some good books this week.
Yes.
Got some good ones.
Very interesting reads.
We take two on and then we deviate.
Yep.
So which way, how do you want to go first?
Do we want to talk about the future of the Marvel Universe with Avengers?
Or the now of the Marvel Universe?
Yeah, that's a toughie.
Let's talk about the now and then let's go future last, just
Okay.
because I think that's a thing.
Yeah.
So Uncanny Avengers takes place in this kind of nowness,
Yes.
but still repercussions of the future jump that the arc before kind of did.
Yeah, it's Rick Remender,
Right?
who's had the hot hand recently.
Truth.
This one was kind of weird for me. Like I didn't know how to feel about it.
I know what you mean. It was kind of epilogue-ish, but in
Yeah.
a very obtuse
Yeah.
sort of way. It was a reach.
Yeah.
It was a big reach.
What he's doing is he's setting everything up for Access, which is
Right.
Marvel's big crossover push.
Right.
Which actually, when I describe it, it sounds stupid, but I love the concept.
I'm really curious about all of it because I'm kind of on the outside looking in.
Yeah, with Red Skull at the beginning of Uncanny Avengers,
Right.
stole Professor X's brain.
Which is rude, by the way. I just want y'all to know that. Like, Rick, what? Why did that even pop into your head? It's genius. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
But rude. Okay.
Yeah. And he is going to swap people's to steal from D&D alignments. So basically, if you're a good guy, you're going to become a bad guy.
Okay.
And he wants to start World War Hate, which totally is in the wheelhouse of Red Skull. Like that's his thing.
It is perfection.
And it sounds really cool. Rick Remender, I think, can pull it off, and it shows that he's been planning it since literally issue 1
Right,
of
right.
Uncanny Avengers. But this was kind of like was Rogue's thing a dream sequence or a reach out from beyond?
I think it was a combination of the two. Like, we're not exactly sure where it's supposed to fit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think that, like, overall, like, it's a very solid thing to suggest the power levels of Charles.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Because being dead that long and still being
Still got a
able
little Peter Parker ain't got nothing on me. Check
Yeah.
this out. Because, I mean, Peter wasn't even, like, dead.
Yeah.
This was, I mean,
Yeah.
when your head is in somebody else's body, dude, you're kind of gone.
Yeah.
But
Technically
brain,
dead.
literal.
Yeah.
Gross.
Which the art representing that in this issue.
Oh, that was kind of
Very
creeptastic,
cool.
man. Kind of creeptastic. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of unnerved me just a little bit.
yeah.
Just a little. Yeah. But yeah, overall, I think that like for an epilogue, you definitely got the solid build up to the next.
Yeah.
Which I think is different.
Yeah. Because it looks like some of the people that were captured are going to be used as pawns
Right.
to kickstart this big war.
Exactly.
And some of the people that were kidnapped are they're no joke.
You just don't do that.
Yeah.
You just don't. I'm really. All the images that I've seen of Axis that actually have Red Skull in the onslaught, I just need to know. I just need to know how we get to that.
Yeah.
How do we go to there? Because that's where I wish to see.
Yeah. That was nerd Viagra for me.
Yeah,
Seeing
yeah,
that, I'm
because
just
you're like,
oh,
he knows. Like
Yeah.
he is pushing this to the tilt, and
Yeah.
I appreciate.
Oh,
I definitely
definitely.
appreciate it. So I would definitely say grab this one. If you followed the King and the Apocalypse Twins story arcs, you kind of need it.
Yeah.
And
because it ties those up.
right, and it just kind of fits into the bigger tapestry.
stuff.
Sorry, it's really good. You want to hit the separate ones?
Yeah. Let's do that.
You went Multiversity.
Yeah. Another one where I was kind of meh about.
Right.
It had a real cool pulp vibe to it.
Okay.
But all the characters, like it was fun playing. Like, oh, who is this character really? Because the name is different. Like it's Count Sinestro instead of Sinestro. So it was cool. It shows Morrison's ability to to change gears and have a different feel or tone for each book.
Okay.
Which I liked. I don't know what the actual storyline is.
You don't know what
be.
I got you.
Yeah.
What is literally the plot as opposed to a bunch of things that are happening?
Yeah.
As sacrilegious as it is, I almost felt the same way about Hush when it first came out,
Yep.
where it was like, hey, look, this is a Batman villain, and we're putting him in there,
Yeah.
but what did it have to do with the overarching
Yeah.
narrative? So
Yeah.
that I understand. Art-wise, who tackled this one?
Chris Sprouse, I believe.
Yes,
So-
I did know that. I'm not gonna lie. I actually was just talking to Chris 2 weeks ago at Cincinnati or Cincy Comic Con.
Yeah.
So he actually showed me some of the work.
And it's gorgeous.
It is
it's-
gorgeous.
It's laid out like from the artistic side, the storytelling and everything's gorgeous. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's I mean it's a really really solid book. It's just one where I want to know what the ultimate like
The ultimate plan.
yeah
Gotcha.
yeah and I just don't have that yet. Like I enjoyed it.
But still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure out. I understand that. I am going to throw it out there that go ahead and get this issue of Multiversity, if for nothing else, to support Chris as a local Columbus-based creator.
Yeah.
Shout out! You know, we do that. We rep our own. How would you feel? Would you say grab it? I mean,
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I'm yeah, definitely grab it. But I'm also like a Grant Morrison homer, where I'll just be like, he will put out, he could write a story about a kid that eats alphabet soup and craps a phone book,
right?
And I'll buy it.
And you'll be like, I gotta read that.
I have to have it. Is there one for 50 variant? I'll take it.
I understand. Yeah. I understand. So I took on Batman and Robin #1, Future's End, and the first thing that got me, like I saw a preview for this, and Black Robin. Okay, we have a Black Robin in this one,
Yeah.
and like right now there's this thing called Trill League. I don't know if you've heard about this.
No.
Artist Anthony Piper out of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
He did this whole like urbanized, like super urbanized take on the Justice League.
Yeah.
And so to see a Black Robin actually crop up, I'm like, oh, is this art imitating Facebook? Facebook imitating art? I don't know. But this whole thing where like it's possibly Heretic or some Damian clone in the future popping up, and Batman in his, Bruce specifically in his way, keeping Robin away from it because of the feelings that it brought up about you know, Damian being killed by this thing. Spoilers, sorry if you didn't know that, like 2 years ago.
It's been 24 or more months.
Like, it
You
really
gotta
has.
Shut
Like-
up if you're complaining.
Like, seriously, if you're like, spoilers, bro, I'm like, spoilers. So it was a really interesting take, especially seeing like the whole frame of this unknown Robin, don't know who he is, kind of interacting in this very common way where a Robin would act. You know, it's like, Batman, stop holding me back. We've seen that before, but just a fun take in this moment. The writing, I felt like it was trying to go a very specific place, but was kind of limiting itself. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, because he does try some interesting concepts, but doesn't push the envelope as much as it could.
Yeah.
There are worse things. There are definitely worse things. But overall, very interesting read. Dustin Nguyen. I've loved I've been wanting to do that to him for years, but I don't know you well enough that that would be appropriate. So I am so sorry if that was embarrassing at all. But seriously, you killed on this book. You can definitely feel like the kinetic nature of it, which I think you pull off very, very well. I think he's like handling a couple different art duties on different things right now. So still masterfully, story told. I enjoyed it quite a bit, visually speaking. Would love to know why you chose that design for that Robin. The one caveat or complaint that I have is that he obviously has dreadlocks and they are exposed, and I'm like, why would you do that? Like, that is immediate, like, do this to you. But maybe that's just me, because I'm a mean person. But just curious as to how you got to that design. I would love to see some stuff online from that one. In fact, if you would, tweet us something. Let us know why you did this. Hit us up, Irish Ride 39 or at Vantage InHouse on Twitter. We're there. So, just curiosities. Yes. Okay. And the request.
Yes. In the new issue of Avengers,
Yes.
they jump forward in the Marvel story timeline by 8 months.
Right. Just 8 months.
Just eight
I think
months.
that's a middle finger to the typical time finger or time jump thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
most everybody was like 5 years, boom. 8 months.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a ton of crap happens in the Marvel
I mean,
universe.
it really does. It really,
Yeah.
really does. I'm not even gonna lie.
So this is much like Uncanny Avengers
Right.
is setting the stage for Access, their big Marvel push. This is setting the stage for next year's
Beyond.
big Marvel
Yeah.
push of Time Runs Out, which are, I don't know what the verbiage is, multiverses in the Marvel universe.
They're. We're just gonna make one up.
Yeah.
Which they're
They're in the Marvel multiverses. They're starting to collapse on each other.
Right.
And it looks like as they're collapsing in on the Marvel universe that we all kind of like know and love and consider the home one. And there's a lot of stuff that happened between the last issue and what's going to happen in the future.
Indeed.
Indeed. I'm very curious how it gets to that point.
Yeah. Because for me, like, okay, if this is Marvel's 1986, you know, and it's Crisis on Infinite Earths, the thing is that Marvel has always been really good at having humanistic characters, flawed individuals, ones that don't always make the right call. And so to take that and still put it in that 1986 gritty vibe that made Watchmen, that made Dark Knight Returns, to give them that kind of outlook is kind of a really like fun thing to see.
Yeah.
Almost like not that like DC should never have done it, but it almost seems right for Marvel.
Yeah, at this point.
With the aftermaths of things like Civil War and Secret Invasion, this feels right.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out where all that plays.
But I think it's going to be in there.
You think it's going to be in there?
I think it's going to be in Avengers.
Okay. Did you check out my boy Thor? Did you see his visual?
Yes.
On that one? That hasn't happened yet.
Not yet.
That hasn't happened yet. But we did see that in the God of Thunder series.
Yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff like Thor and Hyperion up in the Savage Land, which some chaos is going there. Just the fact that all the Illuminati are gone.
Yeah.
They're just
And
in hiding.
who the Illuminati is now?
Yeah, the lineup has changed
The
quite
lineup
a bit.
has changed, and I respect. I respect it.
Yeah, the point man they've got in this issue fits. Like,
It does.
Yeah.
Like you're almost like, well, holy crap.
why was he never a part of it? It'll make sense when you read it.
It will. It totally will. If you're not familiar with the character, where would you start?
He was pretty prominent in the World War Hulk stuff.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
A lot of Iron Man stuff too.
Okay. So yeah, his placement within the whole scheme, very much so.
Yeah.
That thing that he had in his palm, that was curious.
Yeah.
That was a very curious object.
Yeah.
That in his wrist, I was very like,
Yeah,
what are we doing with that?
Yeah, there's some stuff going on in this issue that characters that have been mainstays of the Marvel Universe have gone missing, and it looks like by intent with some of them.
Right.
So yeah, this is a very different look at
Very different.
a darker Marvel Universe that fits based on, because a lot of times with the big events, like a bunch of stuff happens and then it just kind of is ignored.
It's like, meh.
Yeah. And this, something has
No,
happened.
something has seriously happened.
Yeah, and the world is much different as a result.
And this one kind of harkens back to what I think in terms of Civil War, where there was literally a change.
Yeah.
Even if it was just for a time, there was a change.
Yeah.
And it was felt and it was definitive. Very strong. I don't know if the movies have anything to do with this, building up to, leading into, any of that.
Yeah.
But very well played. I am excited about this one.
Hickman wrote this one, right?
Yes, he did. Because it was
That's the
full
wrong
of...
book, dagnabbit. I'm
That's
bad
all right,
at my
it's down
job.
there.
I'll be
It was
fired.
down there. Yeah, it's all good. I knew where you were at. Yes, it was him. But and you can see like how he builds onions, like layers upon layers, super layered up, and then there's a layer on top of that and below it, and then it's in a cube that has layers. Like he builds a lot of things. So if he's one of the architects behind this one, be prepared for note taking. But I think that's true about the original Crisis series too.
There's
Like
a lot
it was
going on.
dense, man.
Yeah.
Seriously dense. So this one's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, I
think
enjoyed
it's
it
gonna
quite a
be
bit.
good one. Yeah.
That was probably the book I enjoyed most.
I can agree. I can definitely agree. Different artists on that one.
Yeah.
We had Dustin Weaver. Let's see, Jim Shung, Nick Bradshaw. I think those were the three.
I
think those were the three. Very nice. Very nicely done, guys. Very nicely done. Nice introductions to where everybody is.
That's what a big book should be.
Yeah. big book. Get my read on. That's it. All right, so I got some extras. I came in a little early today. Still trying to make up for a few weeks ago when I was late. This guy. All right, so let's see. Which one do I want to look at first? I'm going to go with this one. Uncanny X-Men. Bendis and Chris Anka, I think that's how you say it. I have no idea how you say his name. I'm going to have to ask you sometime. This one is interesting. So this one is taking place, I'm presuming, after Original Sin, where Professor X has jumped on the let's do it to Mystique train, which is really weird because apparently they are married and there's stuff. But apparently there's this new mutant that when he first created Cerebro, found and registered so high that he had to make him forget that he even had powers.
Yeah, which is big stuff.
Yeah, that is pretty big. That's pretty huge. And it's so interesting that you have this dichotomy of people that are, trying to live up to Professor X's memory, but at the same time revealing he is the worst person almost in the entire Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to say this, but it's so true. Like, he's doing stuff that, like, really Red Skull would be like, I didn't even think about that. Like, oh my God, let me write that down.
I must steal his brain.
Yes. Like, I mean, he subjugated Danger. He had an entire team of X-Men that he didn't tell anybody about, including Scott Summers, where his, youngest brother?
Yeah.
Youngest brother was a part of the team. Terrible. Terrible. Oh my God, dude. Then you married, your sister. According to the movies, she's like your sister. You go total Joe Dirt. Gross. I think they have a kid. Do they have a kid? They probably had a kid.
Yeah.
Mystique had kids with everybody. Who didn't Mystique have a kid with? Nightcrawler, because he is her kid. But
yeah.
maybe. It's going to be written. It's going to be written.
Ugh, fourth and long.
Ugh, disgusting. Book sales going down. Mystique had a kid with Nightcrawler. Gross. But overall, it explores some really interesting ideas with where the X-Men franchise is in the greater Marvel universe. The notions of Cyclops' team and the questions therein of what they're doing and how they're doing it, everything. Very, very interesting. I would definitely snag that one if you get a chance because it was kind of cool. Then I wanted to try out this here Superman Wonder Woman Futures in Peace, where on the cover, if you got the 3D one, it's really awesome because you see the hardcoreness. But you have Wonder Woman and some very funky guys kicking the crap out of Supes. You do kind of have to have some background info to really know what's going on here, but the end of it, I think, poses one of the coolest questions of the New 52 Wonder Woman setup. She takes on a particular role with a different understanding of who she is and how she is that I think is something that hopefully will help establish further the majesty of Wonder Woman in the greater DCU and allow for her as a female character, part of the Holy Trinity, to really root itself in the public eye. Give it a read. I don't know if necessarily it's something that you have to have, but it was something that was interesting. Shout out to Charles Soule, who wrote it.
Yeah.
We are loving him.
He's on a roll right now.
He is strong, man. Seriously, as for a series that, like I just said, it's not something that you have to get. It's a good read.
Yeah.
I would definitely have dropped dime on this one just to have it because it was interesting.
Yeah.
And then Bart Sears, classic.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, we're talking back in the day, Brutes and Babes, baby.
Yeah.
Wizard Magazine. Fan, this guy. Did the artwork for it. Solid storytelling. Love his style. I've always loved his style.
Yeah.
So fun. But, so yeah, pretty good honorable mentions on that one. I still say that the setup of the future Marvel U, that's the winner for me. But not bad, man. Pretty good books.
Yeah.
Pretty good books.
Some really good stuff. And Shudder also came out.
That book still comes out. It still comes out.
Yeah, I haven't hit my vodka bottle yet enough to be able to read this.
What do I got to do, guys? I make books, okay? Okay, there's a beautiful little setup over there. It's at the front of the counter. What I got to do for you, huh? You tell me what I got to do. You tell me that book comes out still. But you don't buy my books? That's what you do? I'm upset.
Shudder.
That was such a bad Scarface impression. I don't even know. I didn't make the face thing. I felt my face do the thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. Say hello to my Mjolnir friend. Buy my books.
I don't even know where to begin making fun of that.